This is KFDM Sports Extra with Mike Friedman and Cam Sanderson.
Hey there, sports fans. Yeah, that's right. This is the KFDM Sports Extra podcast. I'm Mike Friedman along with Cam the Kid Sanderson. We are in the same room. We're right across the desk from each other. For anyone watching on our YouTube page, search News on KFDM on YouTube for that. And wherever you're listening to your favorite podcast, we appreciate that. We're going to jump right into it. We've got a lot to talk about. We're going to start with our new top 6 for this week. And here we go. Go ahead, Cam.
Yeah, I mean, we'll go ahead. I'll start off with my top 6. Let me go ahead and move this while we're doing this. I'll start off with my number 6 team, and they're back, Orangefield. This was a tough one. We saw some pretty big losses this week, and so doing my top 6 just in general was tough. Putting Orangefield back on, and I talked to you before this, was a little tough on me because I do think there's other teams that are absolutely deserving of being a top 6 team. The thing I keep coming back to with Orangefield is that dominant win against Woodville, who is still a state-ranked team. Their bounce back against Bridge City. Their only loss is against a team that's a higher division ranking than them. They have those guys on their team, Mason Manning, Caleb Menard. I can't say those names enough. I mean, those guys are dominant forces in Southeast Texas. So it felt fair to move them back up. But there are, similar to 2 weeks ago, there's probably about 9 or 10 teams I would have considered to make this top 6, and some teams just had to miss out.
I agree. We'll go ahead and reveal my 6th place team, and I couldn't agree with you more. And moving Orangefield back into my top 6 means somebody had to come out because it is just a top 6, and we have to move things around. But yeah, Orangefield, they're in, they're out after. They've dropped out after their Bayou Bowl loss, but that was 4AD1 in Bridge City, and a rivalry game at that. So Orangefield's got the talent to do well. We'll reveal our district picks in just a little bit, and I think Orangefield's going to do quite well. So, they're my 6th place team now in my power rankings. We'll move on to my 5th place team, and I've got Hampshire Finette. Now, they did move down a little bit for me for Hampshire Finette. They're coming off a really, really big loss. They lost by 42 points to Almeda Crawford. 63-21 was that final. Longhorns at home for that one, so that was a tough loss for that one. Crawford, is going to face Silsbee coming up this week, so we'll get a better taste of how Crawford is against our area teams. Hampshire Finette moving down to 5 for me.
Yeah, I have Hampshire Finette moving down as well. They're both at 5. You mentioned someone has to come off, and someone came off my list, and that was Silsbee, who Correct. I had ranked, and I had to take him off. It was tough because I didn't know which one of these teams would stay. They both had bad losses, Hampshire Finette and Silsbee. What it came down for me was who Hampshire Finette was going against. If anybody was at that Hampshire Finette game, anybody that saw the clips, I don't know the man's name. Yeah. But I believe he has a UT offer, and he absolutely earned it. And you watched it last night, and he might have been the best high school receiver I've ever watched in person. I don't know what they could have done against him, and he really controlled the whole game. It wasn't an entire team effort. The quarterback was just lobbing it up to this dude, and it didn't matter if he had 4 guys on it. He was coming down. So I do give Hampshire Finette a little credit, because I think that might be a force that would be tough for all of our teams to deal with.
For sure. You showed me a clip of that kid, by the way, and it was a kickoff, and he got the return, and Hampshire Finette surrounded him. But he pulled a magic trick. I don't know what he did. He spun one way, he spun the other way. He went backwards about 10 yards, and then all of a sudden he went all the way to the house.
Yeah, he's a giant dude as well. Just watching him in person, I can't lie to you. My jaw was on the floor, so he was impressive. So that's what it came down to for me between Silsbee and Hampshire Finette. And we'll see. Maybe another team can handle him. But I did think that's probably a tough force for any of our teams to handle.
Absolutely. I did the same thing. I moved Silsbee out of my top 6. After their loss. They easily could have been in. It was a tough choice between even Orangefield, but Silsbee, Orangefield, Hampshire Finette, any of those guys, they've had some tough losses, so any of them could be in the top 6.
Absolutely. I'll go ahead and move to my number 4 team. They're up, Newton. This is a team that's going to be here all year. You're going to mention Newton every week probably. I don't see them losing a game. They're not going to lose a district game. Maybe that's a bold thing to say because Woodville is coming off an amazing year, but they don't lose in district, and they show you that they just continue to be great. And that's Newton football. That's what Newton's known for. There's nothing in the city that's known more than their football team. And I expect that legacy to continue. So they move up, other teams move down, and Newton keeps being great.
Absolutely. Well, this is the third straight week I've had Newton at number 4 for me. Newton's still there, as you mentioned. They're about to enter district play, and they don't lose district games. They've won 73 straight district games, and they haven't lost in over a decade in district. That is what they do. But when you think of area teams that have the best shot at making a good playoff run, making it possibly competing for state, you've got to have Newton in that conversation.
Absolutely.
I completely think that. So, yeah, definitely number 4 for me. All right, we'll move on to my number 3. And it's the Westbrook Bruins. Westbrook, jumped onto my top 6 last week, and now they're all the way up to number 3. Are they the real deal? That's still to be determined. They'll start district play here. They've got this week off, but they'll start district play coming up next week. Westbrook at number 3 with a big win last week over previously undefeated Silsbee. And it wasn't even close. Westbrook dominated that game.
It was not close.
They won all 3 phases. If you saw in my sportscast earlier in this week, Westbrook, their player of the game was the entire team, the whole team.
They
earned it. All 3 phases worked out well. So Westbrook deservingly moved up to number 3 for me.
Yeah, they're my number 3 too. And I can't lie. Like I do smile about it because 4-0 Westbrook, man. And I've been here. This is now my 3rd year covering football. And the past 2 years for Westbrook football has not been good. That's an understatement. It's been terrible.
Yeah.
And now,
since 2019, they haven't been good.
And now look at it. And we were talking about this during the summer. Our first podcast episode, we talked about teams we think can shock the area. And I love football, and I also love being right about things. And I really think Westbrook's the real deal.
Yeah.
They're 4-0. They look great. Tim Anderson is unbelievable.
Absolutely.
It's crazy to watch him. But they have athletes everywhere. Genuinely, every part of the game, they have a guy that can take care of it. And I'll be completely honest with you. I maybe didn't think that coming into the year. They everywhere they got a guy, and it is unbelievable to see.
And the thing with Westbrook is they haven't given you a reason to think that they're going to be this good.
Yeah.
Because in previous years, at least in your last 3 years, they haven't been very competitive at all. 2019 is the last time when Coach Eric Peavy, who's at LCM, was the head coach. He led them all the way to the state title game. They barely lost. They lost a tough one in that year. They haven't been good since. So in Chuck Langston's tenure there at Westbrook, they have not put it together. He told us during the preseason here back in August that this was the best Westbrook team he has been around. He was excited about what was to come, and we're seeing it happen right now.
Isn't it so nice?
Yeah.
I'm from the area, and so I grew up. I love this area. I love Southeast Texas so much, and part of that's Beaumont. Westbrook making a run in basketball to win a state championship, and now Westbrook football's back. BU 3-1. They're always good. It's just so exciting. I love Beaumont and seeing them do good in sports, man. Isn't that awesome?
Fantastic. You want to reveal your number 2?
Yeah, let's talk about my number 2. Yeah, it didn't change. It's staying the same. We're keeping Port Arthur there. I said it last week, and I'm going to say it again. This is not a knock on Port Arthur in the slightest. I'm a big fan of the Titans, and I think they're a great team. And when we talk about those teams that can make a state run, I 100% believe that about Memorial. I don't want it to get twisted because I moved them down. Yeah. They're a good team. There's not much to say other than they're a great team, and they continue to show that. They have a game against a 3-1 Beaumont United team coming up this week, and that's going to be an interest to wanting to watch, especially because they're coming into Beaumont. Yeah. So they'll open district play, but Memorial is clearly one of our better teams. I think 1 and 2 are interchangeable, right?
To a point, I agree.
Okay, yeah. But I will say I am a big fan of Memorial. I think they have 2 of our best duos in Southeast Texas. Brock and Tank King on defense, Monte Martin and Alex Eugene on offense.
Yes.
They have playmakers all around, and that's what makes a great team. That's why you have Westbrook in your top 6. That's why you have guys like Orangefield, Hampshire Finette, Newton, because they have playmakers all around.
Right.
And, Memorial, I said this last week, and I'll say it again, they probably have the best playmakers in Southeast Texas.
I agree.
They're going to have to beat a ranked team for me to put them over my number 1. And that's not a knock on them. I think they can do it. I would like to see it before I, make that assumption. I think that's fair.
Okay, it's fair. It's fair. All right, we'll go to my number 2. It's staying put for the second straight week, the P&G Indians. They didn't lose last week. They didn't
Didn't
play.
win either, right?
They didn't
just
win
sat
either.
around.
They didn't play. But PNG, they're talented. You know the thing, the edge I give for the Indians is their head coach, Jeff Joseph.
Best coach in the area, probably.
Best coach in the area by far. Yeah, he has really, really changed the culture there with the Indians. They're expected to win district. They're expected to make playoff runs. They're expected to play for state. And that wasn't that way under Faircloth or any time before, even Matt Burnett way back when. So I think Jeff Joseph has really opened the eyes and turn things around there with the Indians. They're number 2. They're talented. I don't think they have as talented players in certain positions as my number 1. Go ahead.
You can reveal. Yeah, we'll reveal it.
It's the same. I didn't change. Port Arthur Memorial, talented from top to bottom. I think that they've got the guys, the playmakers, as long as they stick together and play as a team and continue to do what they're doing. They beat Claiborne, 49-14 last week. They didn't take off. Their bye week is the end of the season before playoffs. So they're going to play right on through, and that's not a bad thing. If they're rolling 4-0.
Oh, yeah, they look great.
They look great. So I pick Memorial as my top team in the area.
Yeah, that's fair. Like I said, I think 1 or 2 are interchangeable for me, and I do have P&G at my 1 still. They're not going anywhere until they prove they need to go down. Or really, I think what I've got my eyes on is watching Memorial against Lufkin. I think that's Memorial's chance to jump P&G for me. Yeah, like you mentioned, I mean, P&G has their own little Bill Belichick, and I mean, he is ridiculous. I think that's a great way to describe him. Yeah. It really is, and he's an amazing head coach. There's no doubt about that. And you talk about the culture change. When you're in an area I grew up in P&G,
right?
And maybe people are gonna think this is a biased pick, but
maybe just a little.
It's not. Right. Maybe I don't know. Anyway, I grew up at P&G. The culture was always play good football. The culture was always let's go to the playoffs. And I was there during the Rashawn years, and it's unbelievable. You mentioned a culture change. How a team that was already doing that good can have a culture change to do even better.
Right.
I grew up my senior year.
That's a good point.
That P&G team went it to the 3rd round. And what they were saying, it was I think it was a game against Texarkana, actually. They get there, and they're talking about in class. You're like, well, at least it's hunting season. The season's over. It was Monday. The game was on Friday. They gave up.
Yeah.
That has not happened under the Jeff Joseph era. And I've noticed that. Like, I've talked to these players, and I'm like, do you guys think you can win? They're like, we think we're going to win state. And I'm like, that's awesome, because that was never the mentality. Even when you had one of the best players in Texas, Rashawn, there was no we're going to win state mentality. And so that right there is a big reason why I can have them at number 1. We talk about playmakers, and I mentioned to you this last week, and I'm going to say it again. P&G doesn't need playmakers. They show that every week. Their playmakers are the 5 guys on the O-line. That's always their massive playmakers. That run the state, they've had Jackson Christian, Jansen Ware, Elizardo Pena, Bryce Lofton, Bryce Lofton's little brother. He's good too. Aaron Wolford. They have all these guys that have been great over the past few years that you could have me at running back, and it wouldn't matter, And so P&G is good at getting their guys all around. They might not have the best running back in the area. They might not have the best receiving core in the area, but they're going to have a receiving core that can go to battle with just about any team they go up against. And that's for me with P&G why I think they might have a slight edge over Port Arthur right now.
Absolutely. All right, I agree. Cam knows this stuff, at least with P&G. That was more than evident. Hey, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk about our district picks. His district is coming up for a lot of our area teams. Stay close. We'll be right back.
Southeast Texans are passionate about their hometown team. Fully loaded with more scores, more interviews, and more games.
Follow us on Facebook, Insta, X, and KFDM.com.
Get the most complete coverage of your favorite Friday night rivalries.
Classic Southeast Texas presents the Friday Night Tailgate Party. Brought to you by 5 Point Credit Union. Catch it every Friday after KFDM 6 News at 10.
We're back. Welcome into the KFDM Sports Extra podcast, everyone. Appreciate it wherever you're listening, or if you happen to be watching on News on KFDM, search that on YouTube, and we put this up on YouTube as well. So you'll be able to watch this, and it's a little more interesting because we do a reveal here
it's
for
fun
our top 6. So watch it if you get a chance. Go onto YouTube and get a chance to watch this. If you just listen, that's cool too. We appreciate it. But anyway, these are our district picks. There's a lot of area teams. Not everyone is starting district this week, but a lot of area teams are. I know our 5A, one of our 4A districts is starting district as well, or district play this coming up this Friday as well. So we'll reveal our district picks. Do you want to go ahead and start?
I can start it off. Yeah, I'll go, 9-5A D1. That's obviously our district with Port Arthur, Westbrook, Beaumont United.
Correct.
And for me, hey, I got the Titans, all right? We got Memorial in there. Look, for me, I mentioned earlier, like that game against Lufkin's going to be a good one for PA to move up. Mm-hmm. I believe Port Arthur's going to beat Lufkin.
Okay.
Like, I already can see myself moving them up to 1 when they beat Lufkin, not if. What I think the district comes down to is that Westbrook-Port Arthur game. Mm-hmm. That, and I think that's like week 7, week 8, week 9. It's around there, like later in the season. In my opinion, those are the 2 best teams coming into that district. And so that's what's going to be interesting. For me, I got Westbrook coming in 2nd.
Okay.
But I do think Port Arthur can win that district. I got Lufkin coming in 3rd, and then 4th. Oh, man, I hope this is the year, and I hope I'm right. I got Beaumont United coming in 4th, the Timberwolves making the playoffs, which I think would make it the first time in school history.
First time.
So I would love to see all 3 of our Southeast Texas teams up there for sure.
I actually think United's made a couple of playoff runs without having a winning record. I'll have to double check that.
Yeah, we might be wrong.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know if it'll be the first time since they've had football that they've made the playoffs. I'll have to look that up.
Okay.
All right. Well, for next week, we'll think of that.
We'll figure that out.
All right. We'll do my district pick. I'm not going to disagree at all. Port Arthur Memorial. I do have Memorial winning this district. Memorial does well during the regular season, and what they struggle with is when it becomes postseason play. Mm-hmm. They get to host a playoff game, and it just doesn't work out their way. Teams that they should beat, they don't beat. I do think that they're going to get past Lufkin. I will keep them at number 1 in my top 6.
Yeah,
but I do see them winning this district. I do have Lufkin coming in 2nd. Mm-hmm. And Westbrook 3rd.
Yeah.
I have Barbers Hill finishing out that district as playoff teams.
It's a fair pick.
It's a fair pick. Barbers Hill's been there, done that. They've got talent. United's going to have to show me they can do it. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No, I mean, that's completely fair. Barbers Hill used to be in P&G's district.
Yeah,
so I grew up going to, and that you were terrified to go against Barbers Hill.
Right.
So they have the talent, and that'd probably be my 5th selection. So them interchangeable. And obviously Galveston Ball's still in there, and they're a talented team. So it's going to be interesting. I think the top 3 guys, no matter what order it falls in, they're making the playoffs. Lufkin, Westbrook, Port Arthur. I feel confident in those teams. I think it's going to be a battle for that 4th spot. And, it go anyway, really.
All right, my district champion in 8-5A Division II is the P&G Indians. That's the one with P&G and Nederland, the only 2 local teams that are in that district. Mm-hmm. P&G won district last year. Nederland stumbled towards
Nederland had district in their hands.
Nederland had district, and they stumbled towards the end of the season last season and gave it to P&G. So P&G won district. They got to host a game. So I do have P&G repeating. I have Nederland making the playoffs. They're my 4th place team. I've got Montgomery, and I do have Dayton getting into the playoffs this year. Then Nederland rounding up my top 4. But P&G, my district champion, 8-5A Division II.
Yeah, Chief Photog, Jesus Lopez, Dayton graduate.
Okay.
Did you know that? Yeah.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah. All right, so, I'll talk to mine. It's my number 1 team, right? So, obviously, I'm going to have them win in the district.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, it almost would be weird for them not to win the district at this point. That's kind of the standard. Now, you mentioned last year, it really was Nederland's district to win. I remember I covered that Mid-County Madness. I did the interview with Scott Rich, and they were a win away, and that would have been their district. Uh-huh. And definitely an unfortunate fall for them. But I got P&G winning it this year. The only game that I'm concerned about them for, it's not Huntsville. It's Mid-County Madness. That's the only game I was concerned about last year too. And I for them winning that game, I don't know. It's going to be at Nederland, so that's going to be interesting. For me, I got Huntsville coming in 2nd though. I think Huntsville's a dominant team.
Sure.
I'm going to have Nederland coming in 3rd.
Okay.
I'll have them coming. Honestly, it could depend on how that Mid-County Madness game goes. If Nederland can beat P&G but falls to Huntsville, and however the games fall. I mean, it really. I don't know. That game really decides a lot. So I got Nederland coming in 3rd, and then for 4th for me, I got Montgomery. So I think your 2nd place team, I got them coming in 4th. They're a good team. They'll be great. But I do want to see. I'm hoping. My dream is P&G and Nederland are 1st and 2nd. So you get 2 home playoff games out of them. But
that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, they hopefully they get a 2nd place finish. I'll move to my 10-4 AD1. That's Bridge City LCM. I got Bridge City winning that one. And they could have won it last year. You had Smalley come in. It was his first year. They come in 3rd. But I don't, that's not the standard with him, is it? I mean, he is really one of the better coaches in this area, too.
I agree.
And he's back at home. And I really think I think this is their year. They got the talent. They have a lot of guys there that it's exciting. They showed out against Orangefield, and Bridge City, like I think I mentioned them earlier, is the team that fought for my 6th place. It was either them or Orangefield or Silsbee.
Yeah.
They're a great team. There's no doubt. LCM has struggled to start the season, which they did last year, because they play Silsbee, Hampshire Finette. But I really think Bridge City has looked amazing to start the year. I got to give them their flowers. I give them their credit. I'm going to have them winning district this year. LCM coming in 2nd. That tough Huffman team returning a lot of guys. I'm going to have them coming in 3rd. And then this is really one of those districts where the battle for 4th happens. Lumberton, Vider, HJ. And I think it would be wrong of me to switch up on a pick I've been saying since the summer. I'll never forget the moment at that Buffalo Wild Wings when me and Ashley Elam were getting made fun of for making this pick. I know it was the Cannonzales is kind of picking on us, Travis Williams, but HJ. HJ is a playoff team.
Okay.
I think they're going to make it, and I think they've opened the season, and I think people are changing their minds, maybe. Yeah. They have had a tough open. So I got HJ coming in my 4th spot, and I really hope that's right because, they have – it's been a minute. It's been a minute for HJ.
It'll be a battle for sure. All right, my district winner in 10-4A Division 1, Bridge City as well. I do see the Cardinals getting past LCM this year and taking that district crown. LCM, as you mentioned, they've struggled in non-district play. That's what non-district play is for. Struggle. It doesn't matter. They can go 0-3 in non-district play. It doesn't matter at all. It's district play that determines your playoff seeding and how far you'll go in the playoffs probably. But I do see Bridge City winning this district. I have LCM coming in 2nd, Huffman 3rd, and my 4th place team. I haven't jumped on the bandwagon or anything like that. I do have the Hawks. Hardin Jefferson coming in 4th. They will be a playoff team this year.
I think they are too. They really have looked great in non-district.
Yeah. All right, 9-4A Division 2. This is our SEC district.
That's a tough one.
This is a tough district here, and I've got the Silsbee Tigers. Silsbee edging out Hampshire Finette. Silsbee going on to win the district championship again, back on top where I know they believe that they belong at the top there. That's the mentality they have there at Silsbee. I've got the Silsbee Tigers winning this district. I've got Hampshire Finette coming in 2nd, West Orange Stark, my 3rd place team, and then Shepherd coming in 4th.
Shepherd,
the Pirates.
I had a player when I did my district preview talk about, all right, because I left them out of it. But they just weren't one of our local teams.
Yeah,
so,
sure.
Good for them if they can pull it off, for sure. For me, I'm going to go Hampshire Finette. This is the first district game for them, is Hampshire Finette versus Silsbee. So we could see a district winner come out of week 1, really.
Right.
This year it's at Silsbee. I agree with you. Silsbee's my number 2 team. I agree with you that these two teams are going to control it. I think West Orange Stark can get in there again and make up for the slow start in non-district. But, man, for me, it's Pierce Pirtle. Cannot be stopped. I'm yet to see anybody really stop him. He's just a threat. But also Blake Broussard, Dwayne Long. It's a new era in Hampshire Finette. You lose Braxton Starnes, you lose Ty Bryson. This is the new era.
Yeah.
And this would be it would set the narrative for what Hampshire Finette's going to be over the next few years with these 2 sophomore stars. I think they're going to get it. I got Silsbee coming in 2nd, West Orange Stark coming in 3rd, and sorry Shepherd, I'm going to go with Jasper coming in 4th. I think they can pull it off. They show that they can win. They came really close in a lot of their district games last year that they didn't win. So
absolutely, they sure did.
All right, for 10-3AD1, we're going with Orangefield. It seems pretty easy.
Yeah,
they came off, I believe, undefeated district champs last year. They had that big win against East Chambers. Mason Manning went for, I believe, 5 touchdowns in that game to clinch the district. I think they'll do it again. They really just are by far one of the better teams in our area. I don't think they play on a 3A D1 level. I think they play on maybe a level with some 4A teams. They kept it close with Bridge City. And that's a perfect example of that. So, give Orange Shield their flowers. I think they're going to win their district.
Yeah, they've jumped up 2 in classification before, so they haven't always been in 3A Division 1. They've been in 4A Division 2 before, so they've jumped around. But yeah, my district winner in 10-3A Division 1, Orangefield Bobcats as well. Orangefield, as you mentioned, undefeated district champs last year. I think they're going to do it again. I do think they have the talent. We've mentioned those guys with Caleb Menard, Mason Manning. They have the talent to be able to get it done. I do have East Chambers coming in 2nd. I have the Hardin Hornets, who are undefeated through non-district play, coming in 3rd. And rounding out my playoff teams out of this district, the Kirbyville Wildcats.
Yeah, give them a little love. Yeah, shout out Travis Williams. I didn't mention my top 4, but I got Kirbyville as my 3rd. And Yeah, Travis is very positive. They're going to make a playoff. So
even though he's over at Woodville now.
Right, yeah. But he still loves you guys at Curryville.
Yeah,
I know that
sure
for sure. You want to talk? This is a tough one, this last district.
Is it?
Do you want to? You go ahead. You go first. Yeah.
Big surprise here. My 12-3A Division II district champ Newton Eagles. Newton hasn't lost a district game in more than a decade. It's been 73 or 76 straight district games.
Yeah.
That's what they do. They'll go undefeated in district. They'll win the district. Now the question is, can they make it back to state?
Yeah, just win those next 6 games. I agree. But streaks are meant to end. Not this year.
No.
But they are meant to end eventually. I just think Newton's not going to have a problem.
No.
It is going to be between them and Woodville. And
right.
And
I have Woodville coming in second.
And so do I. And I think Woodville looks like a good team this year. This is, the laughing and joking about this. That's no shots at anybody else in that district. It's just there's some things that are always true, and Newton winning district just seems like one of those things that they're going to do it.
Until another team out there proves us wrong.
Yeah.
So
and maybe they do it this year.
Go out and do it, guys.
Know, but, I got Woodville coming in second. Koontz, the Lions, coming in third for me, and then Trinity falling in fourth.
Okay, and I have that, but I have Trinity third and Koontz coming in fourth.
Yeah, so same teams. But I think we're pretty, this same way all the way down, except for that, SEC district. That's a tough one to pick. We might not even have the district winner up there. Who knows?
Yeah, it could be Western Star
could pull it out.
Or who knows, Jasper could even.
Yeah, Shepherd?
Yeah, maybe Shepherd.
We'll see.
Exactly. All right, those are our district picks as we're getting ready for district play to start for some teams coming up this week. We'll talk about some games we're looking forward to for week 5 coming up in just a bit. Stay close.
Southeast Texans are passionate about their hometown team. Fully loaded with more scores, more interviews, and more games.
Follow us on Facebook, Insta, X, and KFDM.com.
Get the most complete coverage of your favorite Friday night rivalries.
Classic Southeast Texas presents the Friday Night Tailgate Party. Brought to you by 5 Point Credit Union. Catch it every Friday after KFDM 6 News at 10.
All right, we're back. We're ready to preview some of the games coming up for Week 5 of the high school. Can't believe it's Week 5 already.
I know, it's just
Week
rolling.
5
I love
of the high school football season, but we're excited for it. It's district play, the start of district play for a lot of area teams. Our game of the week, our tailgate party game of the week, is the opener for 9-5A Division I, Port Arthur Memorial at Beaumont United. Like I said last night, you can't call this a rivalry because it's lopsided in favor of Memorial. I looked back to 2018, and Beaumont United has not won. They haven't played every year since 2018 because United went up to 6A. But United has not beaten Port Arthur Memorial in the contests they've played in the last 8 to 10 years. Will that change this Friday? Who knows? We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, maybe it can change. I mean, it is definitely a new era there. I see a different mentality. When I talk to those kids, compared to what I've seen in the past, I think Coach Dre has done a really good job.
Right.
And I'm excited to see what they can do. I will say, though, if I'm going to stand on my Port Arthur district pick, I think they open district with a win. I could be wrong. I don't know. This could be a good one. Beaumont United is a tough 3-1. You got to give them their flowers, but Memorial's a tough 4-0. It should be a good one. It's in Beaumont. Last year, I believe it was a shutout. I don't think it'll be that this year.
Right.
But I do think that the Titans are probably going to walk away with a win in this one.
All right, for anyone listening or watching, Westbrook's off this week, so they don't open district play. They will open district play on October 3rd, so next Friday, a week from this Friday, at Lufkin. So that's going to be a tough test right out of the gate.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting
for Westbrook. So that'll be a fun one. All right, 8-5A Division II. Both of our mid-county teams are in action. They're both on the road. So P&G's at Lake Creek, and I see the Indians going to Lake Creek and getting the win.
Yeah, I mean, that's been a tough matchup the past 2 years. Like last year was a really high-scoring game. Probably like almost 100 combined points at least. So I don't think Lake Creek's got it like they've had in the past. I think P&G's always going to have it. I mean, really, it's hard to pick against them ever. So I just mentioned earlier, I only see them struggling against Nederland. I think P&G's going to handle Lake Creek pretty well. Nederland, Splendora.
Yeah, Nederland's at Splendora.
Splendora hasn't been that great in the district.
Right.
And I think Nederland has. And, they've been finding themselves out. And, that defense is by far one of the best in the area.
I agree.
Nederland's going to take care of them.
Nederland has to find a quarterback.
They really do. But
So hopefully they found one in their bye week,
Hey,
or the 3 games they've played so far this year. They've got to go into district with a set quarterback and a game plan. Basically,
they got Big Ned back there running the ball, Jaden Ned.
Yeah, Ned.
He's an exciting running back
for sure. All right, 10-4A Division I also starts district as well. We've got Vider at the defending district champs LCM.
It's going to be an interesting one. I really think that's probably going to be one of our better games, like talking about closely matched. You know, I will give Vider their credit. They have shocked me in a lot of the games I've been at with how great they've been. And I believe
that slot T, that misdirection,
it's unbelievable.
Even though you know it's coming, it's hard to guard against. It's hard to defend. Yeah.
And what I've heard is apparently they've faced some injuries, and they still have some guys that are just coming out there and absolutely taking care of it. So I got a lot of, respect for Vider. And same thing for LCM. They open with that impossibly hard non-district schedule for a reason.
Yeah.
Vider did the same thing. Hampshire, Fannett, Silsbee, and Santa Fe, who I believe is still a 5A D2 team. That's going to be interesting. I think that's going to be a close one. I don't know who's going to win it. I think LCM they're going for back-to-back district champs for the first time in program history.
Right.
I think they're going to try their best to open it up with a win, but every team's going to try to win every week. So
you might give the advantage they're at home.
Yeah.
I'm going to say LCM's going to get that one. They're at home in front of the home fans. The familiarity there. I give LCM just the little edge right there.
I think you're right, but it's definitely not going to be an easy win.
No, not at all. All right, also in that district, Bridge City, our pick to win the district. They will be home celebrating homecoming at Larry Ward Stadium, taking on the Lumberton Raiders.
Yeah. It's when you say this is my homecoming game, you come into it expecting it. I mean, that's how it works. Except for last week, we talked to Coach Langston. He was like, I don't know who made this homecoming against Silsbee. That was, that's a tough one. But, I mean, Bridge City is, once again, it's that team that I think is going to win district. I think they're probably going to open with a win against Lumberton. But once again, Lumberton's, it's really not – this district is – it's open. I mean, really, I think anybody can walk away with a win any week. It's any given Friday.
Right.
And I think that's good to say about both our 4A districts.
That's why you play the games, because anything can happen when they line up and play on Fridays. And so anything can happen. I do have Bridge City winning that game as well.
Yeah.
All right, we'll move on. District 9 4A Division 2. That won't start this Friday, but next Friday. But a lot of those teams are going to be tested this week. One of them, a game coming up Saturday. West Orange Stark will be at Fort Bend Crawford, Almeida Crawford, who just hung 63 on Hampshire Fannett last Friday. West Orange Stark gets them coming up on Saturday there in Missouri City. That's going to be a tough test for the Mustangs.
Man, it would be a bounce back. I mean, they just came off of a win, but you want to talk about setting the tone for district play. You get a win against that team.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. I'm telling you, it was ridiculous watching that guy. I've never seen a guy like that good at high school level.
It'll be interesting because West Orange Stark hangs their hat on their defense.
That's
so
right.
It'll be interesting to see if that defense can slow that guy down.
I'm interested to see how they do. I'll for sure be tuning in on Saturday. I will say it's going to be a tough win to get if they can get it, especially on the road. But, hey, good luck to West Orange Stark.
Yeah, absolutely. Good luck. I think it's going to be a tough one for them.
Yeah, I do think so.
All right, also in that district, out of district play, Silsbee, they'll be on the road coming up Friday night. They're going to be at Hitchcock.
Yeah, so I think Silsbee only faced one home loss last year, and that came against Hitchcock. Hitchcock's a good team. Hampshire Fannett just beat them.
Right.
I think this is, once again, it's one, and I like when these teams play the same teams non-district,
right,
because
right.
then you get a good idea maybe who's
compare.
going to.
Sure.
It's going to be a testament to who Silsbee is as a team. Coming off of a big loss, they haven't had to face any adversity this year because they haven't come off of a loss yet, and they just got smoked against Westbrook. I mean, it's as simple as that. If you can come in and beat a team like Hitchcock after taking that loss, I mean, that's a good testament to who the Tigers are going to be this year. Especially, they win that game and then they go against Hampshire Fannett, I believe, the next week.
Right.
So I hopefully. Rooting for him. I am rooting for Silsbee, so I hope they can pull it out.
Hey, we're both rooting for Silsbee. That's all you can do. Good luck to the Tigers and the Mustangs as well coming up in that one. All right, let's move down into 10-3A Division 1. And the district opener, East Chambers will be on the road, and they want to win that district. We both picked Orangefield to win that district, but East Chambers will be on the road to take on Beaumont, and their head coach, the Bucks head coach, Russ Sutherland, is at 199 career wins. So a win over the Cougars on Friday would be his 200th career victory. That is a milestone.
Oh, yeah. It'd be great to see him pull it off. Sure. He's going to do it at some point this season. We know that.
Sure.
Who's it going to be against? I think it was Beaumont played Kuntz last week, and they came in 0-3 against 3-0 team. They're allowing 49 points per game, and I kind of smiled at you and you asked could they beat them, and they I don't know, maybe they're laughing at me now.
Yeah,
because
sure,
they did pull that win off, and so I think it's gonna be interesting. That's a district opener, I believe, for them, like you just mentioned. So But East Chambers is really that team, and I if it wasn't for Orangefield in that district, I think East Chambers could run away with it. So, hey, I hope on Friday we're celebrating. I think on Friday we're celebrating 200 wins for Coach.
Yeah, very good. I also want to talk about the Orangefield game in that district as well. Orangefield will be on the road taking on Hardin. The Hardin Hornets have gone through non-district play unbeaten. So they're going to be tested right out of the gate. I do have Orangefield having the edge, even though they're on the road in that one. But Hardin this season has seemed to put some things together that they're going to give the Bobcats a run.
Oh,
for
yeah,
sure.
Good for them. I think they're a playoff team.
Yeah.
So I hope
Right.
they can pull that off. Unfortunately, with my Orangefield pick, I think Orangefield's going to beat them. But it's going to be interesting. And I think that's really, when you talk about making the playoffs, Orangefield's a good team to battle test yourself against.
Absolutely.
Being able to stop Mason Manning or being able to go against Caleb Menard.
Right.
Those are two guys that you're going to see in round like 3 or 4.
Right.
You're going to see guys like that all over. So if you can handle them in the regular season, it's a testament to who you're going to be when postseason comes around. I think we're talking Hornet football in the postseason. So.
Yeah, very good. Good point. All right, those are some games we're looking forward to for Week 5 of the high school football season. You'll be able to see it all coming up Friday night at 10:35 after the late news on the Friday night tailgate party. Thanks so much for listening or watching if you're on YouTube as well. This is the KFDM Sports Extra podcast. We'll see you next week.
Thanks for watching the KFDM Sports Extra with Mike Friedman and Cam Sanderson.